flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The school board will convene to executive session tonight to consider the employment, promotion, compensation, and performance evaluation data of a public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibilities under Wisconsin statute 19.85, paren 1, paren C. Kaylee, did we have anybody sign to speak? No. Okay. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved. Second.
Questions or discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We'll move to administrative reports. Mr. Hilt.
Thank you very much. Just a couple of things to draw your attention to. The first one is the annual end of the year video. If you didn't get a chance to see it, if you would take a moment. I think the thing that's really cool about that, whenever I show someone from a location other than around here who's not familiar with it, it's just neat to see how excited the staff is, incorporating the kids into it. It just really speaks to the atmosphere that exists. And so that's a really neat thing. The second thing is just ongoing the county partnership with CESA 7 to try and draw new employees to the district for the variety of positions that we have. I had an opportunity to talk with John Jerish over at the Door County Visitors Bureau and a number of other people, and they offered some really neat ideas on ways to get our positions out in the community, some free access that we would have, as well as they're willing to help support us in any way, including images for brochures and a number of different things like that. So they're really on board, which is a neat thing. So we continue to work on that. We have another meeting on that on Monday to work on that some more.
Any questions for Mr. Hill? None? Mrs. Barbara.
Want to highlight that over the last couple of months that there's new standards coming out for Title IX. It's been something that has been ongoing. I know Mr. Litchie and I continue to get a lot of information about that. I'm going to a training early July to make sure that we are compliant in all of in that entire aspect, and I look forward to updating the board in July about what I learned and what are the big things that we need to know as a district. And also, more importantly, how you get that information out to our community so they're also aware of that as well.
That's the CESA training.
Yes, with Ms. Anderson.
They'll be helping to develop a plan and information.
Absolutely.
Training.
Yeah. I was at something when I went to my WCAS conference in the spring with our attorney. And that was informational, but I think they're just putting out much more. I think it's more comprehensive than just that one training led me to believe with so much information that's coming out. And then the only other thing that I want to highlight is, summer programming is definitely going well. It feels very different to only have 48 kids in the building as opposed to 148 kids. So one of the things that, if it's possible, just being really creative with finding more resources to get more kids here next summer. I know it's missing in the community, and it feels good that the kids that are here are getting exactly what they need, but so many more kids need to come for different types of reasons too. So it would be a goal to see if we can get the building filled again with kids that can come. So looking for a little maybe input throughout the year on how we can make that happen. But we are where we were with the budget, and it was the best decision at the time, but it's always a good opportunity to relook if we know that it's important to our kids in the community.
So it was financial, that limited.
Yeah.
And most of the last 2 years, that's their fund is ongoing.
Yeah, and it's why not look at it again and see and reach out to the community. There's other people who also, I think we have a very generous community and ways to partner with people. I think we can be creative to bring it back.
Any questions for Ms. Baca? None. We'll go to the superintendent's report.
Only two things I'll talk about is Randy Anderson, our new superintendent's been in a couple of times already. We've been going over different programs, documents, budget, whatever. She asked the right questions, she understands what's going on. I'm pleased with the progress in the handoff with her, so it's really good. And we'll continue to talk about items, whatever she wants, so it's good. I appreciate that time I've been able to spend with her. Happy with that. And I just want to say thank you for the last 7 years. It's been really good. Thank you.
Is this really your last?
It's my last meeting, yes.
Last meeting?
Tomorrow's my last day. I'm going to take vacation next week. Yeah.
I guess we are always doing what you're doing.
I would just add that when Randy was here on Thursday, I invited her to go to the CISA superintendent and school board session in Green Bay, and she didn't hesitate for a moment to take me up on that invitation, even though it was very last minute. And she had the opportunity to meet the area superintendents from Gibraltar and the new one at Southern Door and Algoma, people that she'll be working with, and some of the area school board members as well as some of the CISA staff. So it was a good opportunity for her to get to meet some of those people.
I met with her on Friday, and she appreciated the opportunity. She thought it was good to meet those people and be able to start networking with them. I have a couple of things that I guess we'll pass along to her. I've been contacted by someone in the community to ask about after-school daycare, if we've ever looked at that. I think it's been a long time since we looked at it. Aaron, do you recall?
I know we've talked about it. We haven't really looked at it. One of the biggest issues is space. I started a daycare at the last school that I was at, and we really needed to have our own building. We were able to do it temporarily for 1 year. We had the YMCA come in and ran it. But in essence, they needed our gym to be able to run it with the number of kids that we had. And they had dedicated toys and a number of other things. So it is a really difficult proposition, especially if you don't have a room that's set up specifically for it.
Can I add something though? Interestingly enough, I've been in contact with the Boys and Girls Club, and they're starting a site at the YMCA. So instead of having to travel to the Boys and Girls Club, and we often have a bus that drops kids off at the YMCA for outdoor programming. And I know before, there was a partnership with the Boys and Girls Club where they came and picked the kids up, but we couldn't do that. But potentially with this new opportunity, because it's closer at the Y, that could be something that we can get more involved in. And I know that the woman from the Boys and Girls Club intentionally reached out to say, how could Sevastopol be a part of that? So maybe we can get some more.
So that's an item I'm going to pass along to Randy Anderson for her to listen, and she can talk to you as well. And then I had someone contact me about an expanded food pantry to supplement the backpack buddies.
Sure, I'd love to talk on that as well. We met only one time last year, but there was a committee where we all got together looking at what other resources and opportunities can we bring to Sevastopol. One of them was, more opportunities for food. And we talked with the YMCA this summer about the summer food program, and we didn't meet criteria for that. And then the other one that we've been investigating is Feed America. And I've been playing phone tag with Feed America, so having them be a part, and how they work is, they drop off food, I think it's every week, but we have to meet a certain criteria so I'm still in the process of looking at that, but through our care closet, what we've talked about, that's the wish list. The wish list is to have some of those food items for people just to take when they want them. So it's definitely on the staff's radar, and I'd love to continue that conversation. Because there's a lot of staff here that definitely would love to get involved.
This individual has volunteered here before. She's volunteered.
Sure.
She's managed a school food pantry.
Who was that?
Katie Castriel.
I'll
I'll put you in touch with her.
Can you? Because that'd be great. Because if there's other local ways we can do it, and Feed America seems like it's a wonderful program. It just seems really comprehensive. You know, and again, we're so small, I don't know if we would.
There might be a way just from community donation.
That's what I'm thinking too. And the care closet, I know that the counselors and a couple of other staff members, they'd love to expand our care closet to include not just occasional socks and t-shirts and things like that, but, and deodorant or toothpaste. But what do our families need? A lot of them say,
I'll put you in touch with her. And then a couple of things we need to schedule. One, we need to schedule a meet and greet for the staff with Randy Anderson. And maybe a community meet and greet unless we do that before the next school board meeting. Did administrators have any ideas of when that might, or haven't had a chance to look at that?
we haven't had a chance really to kind of discuss that. I mean, we have our calendars out. We're ready.
Well, I guess we
I'm
don't need to do
sure you
that.
know either, so.
We don't need to do that at a board meeting, and I guess all board members don't need to be there for that, but that's something we should probably schedule here in July. And then I did reach out to Patty Bickman because we are supposed to do a transitional meeting with her. The board and the new superintendent kind of reviewing roles and responsibilities and things. So I asked her to send some dates that she would be available for that. And then I'll send them to you and see if we can get a consensus of what kind of a date might work for that. Something she suggested we get done before school
I think
starts.
the sooner we can schedule, the better, because calendars fill up so quickly.
So I'm just waiting to hear back from her where they came with a number of dates that might work. Athletic committees meeting. Board.
Basically just went over the stuff that's in the packet here. Just made some changes to things that weren't really working the way it was written, so we had changed some of the wording and stuff like that. Some of it went to more WIA standard stuff. And then added some stuff for consistency and stuff for homeschool students. But yeah, so that one, all that stuff's in there.
Nothing else? Keith? Keith or Dave? No? The budget report?
I have a budget summary for May in front of you. We need to remember that the property tax that's still collected in July and August, look at those payments, go on to the 23-24 school year. It's always lags behind. So that's something to keep it. Oh, and Fund 49 at $2,179.36. That was for the building project. That will get transferred into Fund 10 at the end of next week. So it's Fund 49 will disappear, won't be on your, well, yeah, it'll be at the July meeting to get the June report, but then in August, it won't be on the July one, because Fund 49 will be absorbed because that all is now complete, so.
Questions? As Mr. Lippy said, Randy Anderson has been to meet with him a couple of times on the budget. And she's talked with Tasha, and she and Tasha are going to work with Baird on the forecasting model to determine the referendum for November, you know, how much, I mean, we know generally how much it's going to be, but can it be scaled, can it be staggered, things like that.
Todd from Baird was in on, I don't know what day it was last week, same day Randy was in. Todd is really good. Typically with Baird, we work with Mike Clark more tightly, but Todd and Mike work together too, so that's going to be smooth there.
Facilities?
Facilities, the sound folks haven't told us the exact kind of acoustical plans yet, but Dan is planning on having his staff install them. And Johnson Controls was here today. air conditioning, heating system, what is it, communication, whatever, I don't know, but however it does it electronically, they had the guy in double checking how that's working to make sure that's going well. And our football field is getting too much rain. The grass, if you look at it, it's a little green or a little yellow. We haven't turned the sprinkler system on at all yet this year, but really it's Mother Nature, but that is, it's yellow, the grass has got a yellow look to it.
Yeah, all the nitrogen is being bleached out.
There you go. Yeah,
We got 7.5 inches of rain today.
we got southern averages today.
We looked at that today.
Yeah, you know, yeah, so, yeah.
I know. It's better than the well, we got sprinklers.
We could turn the sprinklers on, but this is, the farmers got tired.
See how the tile system works.
I don't
Is it
even
then
remember.
long term, do we try to add something to the grass, or is it survive just?
It'll survive, it's bigger.
Yeah, they'll survive fine. I mean, they'll do who do we have for,
Dawn's lawn care is taking care of the football field portion, and Dan will work with them and get them to fertilize at the right time.
it's not really small.
But it might take more fertilizer than normal. But at least he's aware of it and watch it rain. Well, you can't stop it.
If it dies, we'll just blame it on you. That's good.
I think everything for the next couple of years will be my fault. That's what I would say.
Okay.
I'm blaming Robinson and Frederick for a lot of things. Everything in Frederick's to be Robinson's.
Those are old skills, well, right?
That's how it works.
All right. We don't, board goals, I said, we've got to meet with Patty, for kind of that transitional meeting, goal setting with the superintendent and the grief. So we've got a full plate this time. This personal days time off policy is back on the agenda. I don't know if we can really figure out a change, or if we should kick the can down the road for the new superintendent to talk with the administrative team about it. The policy was put in place so that there would be coverage, and numbers of people weren't taking off 2 days before Thanksgiving, 2 days before Memorial Day, 2 days before Christmas, and that the personal days were just kind of a wide open, take them whenever you want, and you can take them unpaid. The staff would like to see a loosening of that.
It is a bit complicated. I look at it, and I'm looking at it right now, but it is somewhat complicated, and I think we could simplify it. Well, okay, so no more than a total of 4 employees. Personal days will be granted for the same day for aides and teachers, and no more than 3 teachers. So and then we always run into the problem of conflicts with multiple requests for that. And we've dealt with it case-by-case basis.
That limited number per day is so we don't have,
Right.
so we have enough subs to cover, because when the kids are here, we need coverage. Yeah, and that hasn't been too bad with having people all want the same day off, because I've taken first come, first serve, and I tell the person no, if they really need that day, they've gone to talk to someone who's already signed up for that day, and rarely has it become a problem, but the maximum amount of day isn't the problem, it's when you're extending the weekend or something, that's where the problems are.
So, I mean, first come, first served is kind of on an as request basis. So, I mean, if somebody comes really late, makes a request.
Then they have to work it out with somebody else that's already made the request.
That part's been working. It's the part of extending weekends and holidays and stuff like that. That's
And the one time,
the one-time exception, that's really the issue.
That's the issue.
Okay.
That's kind of a killer, yeah.
I guess I would lean on administration for that, because, I mean, I would support whatever is needed, but I would express.
Or what was supposed to?
I think you said Walter had PTO and it was kind of a mess because everybody just took it whenever.
So the government lets unpaid time off and that they don't have no subs and they're short staffed on occasion.
I think whatever policy is in place, whatever it is, I think that the bottom line is what's best for all the kids. I mean, and put that at the main focus now. Not specific, but what's good for the whole system because, and again, I would lean to administration to carve that. So,
I wonder if Jean Bourne might be able to help us. She works with multiple schools and
And who's she from CISA or?
Well, she's from
Jean
Neola.
Bourne with,
Oh, Neola.
That's why the policies are in there.
just to get some examples of what other schools are doing.
I would just, always supportive of good discussion and improvement is this came to us for a purpose. I think some of the policy that's in place right now, it makes it easier because everyone knows the policy. So simplifying it, if we can find that, I believe we'll just push more responsibility on the administrators and then it will become more of an issue because the policy opens up it. And I'm not against it, I'm just making sure we think through that. And I think at the end of the day, it will take some time because I think I agree with Keith. The mission at hand should be the focus. And our mission is educating kids and we've had a problem getting it filling them. So I think I agree with the comments about and maybe when, is if the administrative team comes in and says, we can handle this and it's not going to be a problem, I'd be more willing to support that. But when spring comes around and you got people in the building, then you fix it, you know. That's a response, that's a accountability type of thing, so I think we can talk more about it, but.
You do a first come, first served?
When it comes to the 4 people per day, they email me and I said, they.
And that's working okay.
That's working on
So-
you know, a Friday in May, well, it's a Friday in May. And when I tell them, no, it's already booked, because I got 3 teachers or 4 total, they say, okay, they will look for a different day, or if they say, well, I really need that day, then I say, well, these are the 3 or 4 people that have a person, they go talk to those 3 and see if one will switch with you. And sometimes people have been able to or gracious enough to do it, other times they said, no, I really need that day, and it hasn't worked out, but it's never been a real issue. So the real issue is extending the weekend and such, or a holiday.
Well, and the real issue this time was, the reason this keeps coming to us is because it's a one-time.
Right, so how many times do you do a one-time
So
exception?
do you loosen that up and say once every 3 years? Do you loosen up once every 2 years? Do you?
again, anytime you set a policy, that's just, I don't know what the right answer is, but.
Well, I
So
don't,
that's the only issue then with this is not the 4 people, the first come, first served. The only issue is the one-time life exception. So we will whatever one. So that would be, again, an administrative calculation that would help us. That if you do, I mean, okay, right, let's do some statistics, right? So if your expectation is this is how many people are taking off every year, so if everyone gets it like every 4 years, if that's a balance that, hey, we're kind of doing all right there, or does it need to be every 10 years? Or every year, because it's awesome, but I mean, I think history dictates that it ain't gonna be every year. So I think that would be, you know, do the homework and come and help the staff to say, hey, based on our staff size and what we kind of see every spring, we could probably say that about every 4 years would be a reasonable starting point versus a lifetime. That would be great data to get us off the fence of what's better, right? And I don't know how hard that is, by the way, and I don't even know if we track all those days and what it would take. I mean, it'd be sweet if there's a spreadsheet that you could just report, you know, do a search in the last 10 years and see what the personal days were for spring. Is there such a thing? Probably not. So
That's special
I
request.
think that all we have is a special request or the letters when it's
Right,
approved
yeah,
from the
board
board
agendas.
approves it. We've got that goes in employees' files, so I don't know if we have a collective place for that data is.
and there aren't an overabundance of those special letters.
Well, because the policy when we started doing that was once in a lifetime, so people really have thought long and hard about that. But again, I think the group is looking,
Well,
you know, and discussing.
You're not going to be, I don't think we're gonna figure this out at this table tonight. I think we pass this to Randy Anderson for something to talk with the administrative team about, and then come back and see if they can make a recommendation to us.
And you guys can start thinking about it and maybe have options, and, just, you guys have the history, of course, and always read, that's important to remember, so.
Whatever he said in the reviews, it said once every 4 years, or once every 4 years, once every 5 years. Everybody else, they once every 5 years.
And that's fine.
And that's okay, but then.
As long as we can support the kids and education and our numbers stay good and morale and culture's all great.
I can check with Jean and see if she would have some examples from the old one.
Okay, did you have anything, Emily, you want to report legislatively, Sue?
Yes, a couple of things. You've probably seen where the Surgeon General wants Congress to require a warning to address social media's role in what he says is a mental health crisis among young people, and he's comparing this to the smoking issue that we all went through a number of years ago, where the warning was placed on cigarettes and other tobacco products. So it's an interesting approach, and we'll see where that goes. And then I was just talking to Stephen about this at the federal level. There is a bill that's been introduced that would require the creation of formal guidance to pre-K through 12 schools on the use of artificial intelligence. The National Science Foundation Artificial Intelligence Education Act also seeks to establish scholarships, professional development opportunities, and spur new research through the National Science Foundation to better reorient and protect education and our workforce from the emerging technology. WASB at the Delegate Assembly last January did pass a resolution regarding AI. The WASB recognizes the significance of AI as a newly developing technology and looks to be a part of the state discussion as AI evolves. And WASB is closely monitoring legislation and any potential federal guidance on the education use of AI. I also shared with Stephen a copy of the agenda for the WASB Summer Symposium in Green Bay this year on March 12 and 13, which has several outbreak sessions on artificial intelligence and cybersecurity, big topics.
Is that March or is it July?
What's that?
What were the
Is that-
dates? Sorry.
July 12 and 13
July.
in Green Bay at the Hyatt Regency. And the complete agenda is on the WASB website. And Kaylee did register me for it already, so I will be there, but I would encourage anybody to attend because these are some really hot topics that we're going to be dealing with.
Yeah, I feel like now we're being scratched the surface. I feel like it's kind of like discussing the future of aviation right after the Wright brothers got done at Kitty Hawk. And the A1 is going to go into worlds that we have not even thought of.
Yeah.
It's going to be very scary. And there's going to be some right decisions going on. There's going to be probably some very bad decisions. With regards to cell phones, that was a topic on the news, just like how the California government was already outlawed in Florida, but in Indiana it takes effect this September. You
That what, I'm sorry?
can't take cell phones to school.
The state of Florida?
In the classroom.
And that they already did. California is now, but now but the governor is putting together a bill to outlaw cell phones in all the surgery warrants. And there's so much data coming out on this stuff, but the effects on the brain and all that kind of stuff, it's really. We don't allow them in the classroom, we allow they come to school.
Yeah, in school, they don't have them in the classroom, but there's a they have the pockets in the classroom, they're supposed to put them in there, they're supposed to keep them in their locker, they bring them in the classroom, they put them in the
The argument
pockets.
always is, well, mommy or daddy had to give up for the kid. I don't know how they'll survive decades with mom and dad.
And then one more thing, the Wisconsin Manufacturers and Commerce have filed a lawsuit in April directly with the Supreme Court that seeks to overturn Governor Ever's use of the partial veto. You'll recall last year that he extended the $325 per pupil until 24-25. The Supreme Court, the state Supreme Court, has announced that it will take out the suit, and petitioners in the case will have 30 days to file a brief before the court, and respondents will have to reply with a statement within 20 days of the filing. So it'll be interesting to see where that goes. It was an interesting move on the governor's part, and very unique, so we'll see what happens.
Okay. Then we will look to renew our membership with WIAA for the 24-25 school year. If there are no questions, please take a motion.
Move to approve the WIA membership renewal for 2024 to 2025 as presented.
I'll second.
Questions or discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Then we will look for approval of the school psychologist contract.
It was for $450 per day for each of the last 2 years, and we're looking to go up to $460, which is a 2.2% raise. Originally, he asked for $500 per day, and Ms. Margraf talked him down to $460, so 2.2%.
That's what everybody else got.
She's a negotiator.
Yeah, so.
I want to make a, yeah, can I say, oh, sorry, this isn't, you're approving.
Do you have any comment?
I just want, I want to know that
Yes.
he's wonderful, I would love working with him, he's great, but this will be his last school year. So this time next year, I will be looking for a new school psychologist to fill that role, but then also look at some creative ways that we can fill that role.
Is he an independent psychologist?
He's a retired school psychologist working, he worked in the De Pere School District for about 27 years. He also worked in Kaukauna, but has decided not to continue with Kaukauna. Loves Sevastopol and wants to be here another year. Thinks we're a great school.
I'll see if I can find another one.
So, Keely, do we have a motion and a second on that? No motion, second. Okay, motion on the school psychologist.
I so moved.
Second.
If there are no more questions or discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Then we look to approve the employee handbook.
The only changes in it are the numbers for insurance, salary ladder, those items. One thing I did omit was on the list of coaching stipends, I forgot to plug in the e-sport one that was approved, so like noted that we did approve e-sports last month, and so that should be on the list of stipend positions. I missed that in my editing.
Anybody have questions? Otherwise, we'll take a motion on the employee handbook.
I'll make a motion to approve the employee handbook for 2024, 2025, also including the sports stipend that was approved previously.
Is there a second?
Second.
Questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Then we will look to approve middle school, high school athletic code proposed changes for the 24-25 school year.
Move to approve the middle school and high school athletic code proposed changes for 2024, 2025. Second.
Questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Then we have a few resignations. Look for a motion on the first one, head cross-country coach.
Move to approve the resignation of Annie Kapelmeyer as the head cross-country coach.
Second.
Questions or discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Science teacher?
Twice, do you know twice again?
He accepted a job at Gibraltar. He taught there previously, he lives there, his daughter goes to school there. They couldn't find a teacher. His daughter wouldn't have a class if she didn't take the job. Our pay was equal to theirs.
It'd be a hard one to replace.
Awful. Physics and chemistry are really difficult. to find.
Especially this short season, right?
There's about 40 high school science openings in the state of Wisconsin as of Tuesday. Yeah.
What does he teach?
It's always posted last week.
Was he certain, was he
Just
like
the
a,
advanced sciences, physics, chemistry,
like
advanced.
a advanced teacher?
We taught physics, advanced physics, chemistry, advanced chemistry, physical science. Yeah. This is the problem.
I think he left Gibraltar because of the culture things were going on there. Now it's a different place, he's going back.
Yeah, he in between Gibraltar and here, he worked at a grocery store for a year and a half. And then we got him, and that would lose him.
So, was there a motion to accept Craig's?
What if we don't accept it? We've tried that before.
Do we have to? Do we say no?
Many times, yeah.
I suppose we could try.
Did someone make a motion?
I
can't start.
I guess I would make a motion to accept the resignation.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. And then middle school football co-head coach position.
I'll make a motion to approve resignation of Brian Keane as middle school football co-head coach. Second.
Questions or discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. That concludes our regular business. At this time, I would like to thank Mr. Lukey for his 7 years here. He's done some good things here. We don't know what we'll have to blame you for it. He's done some really good things.
Anything that comes up.
You've done some good things here, and you're the third longest serving superintendent we have.
In 100 years, that's pretty awesome.
Seriously, right?
So I will take a motion to convene to executive session.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion carried at 7:38 p.m. And I will make a motion on the head boys and girls cross-country coach.
I would move to approve Paul Frank for the head boys, girls, cross-country coach.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Then the high school assistant varsity football coach is Alex.
I make a motion to approve Alexandre as the high school assistant football coach.
Second.
Questions or discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. And then the JV boys basketball coach.
Move to approve the hiring of Brian Keane as JV boys basketball coach.
Second.
Questions or discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Our next meeting is July 17th. And in the meantime, I may be sending out some dates for that transitional meeting with Patty Beckman and a meet and greet with the staff.
Good.
Is there
The
So
sooner the
what's
better.
the Sandy Dickman meeting, if you were to meet an hour early, from 6 o'clock, so we don't have another meeting at this time.
You know how long a meeting like that takes?
For what?
Jerry asked if we could meet at 6 and then have a regular meeting at 7 for the transitional meeting. How long would you anticipate that?
Which meeting are you
The
referring to?
transitional meeting, the
Patty
meeting with
Beckman.
Patty
Patty
Beckman. where
Oh,
she
with Patty, oh.
And us. I guess I'll
Roles
ask her
and
how long she
response.
needs.
I would rather not limit that meeting, Jerry, just, we want to make make sure we transition.
You want to limit it to an hour, is that what you're saying, or?
I don't really know what the meeting is about, but I just raised it, can we do it before this meeting, so we don't have to make another trip?
Oh, okay, I
I
see.
guess.
I guess I'll
We
ask
want to do it before then, don't we?
Huh?
We want to do it before then, don't we?
Yeah, I
July
would
17th,
think
we can do
so.
that before then.
Some will depend on her availability.
Right.
Right.
And
think she'll be
everybody's
ready for the
availability.
17th.
And
Yeah.
I don't know how long that meeting, I don't know what, could take an hour, could take 2 hours, could take 2
Someone's got to
hours.
facilitate me and Jerry.
At the meet, at the meet and greet, you don't want to like, I don't think you want to have it like 6 and have the board meeting at 7 where you're kicking people out that goes to the meet.
I want to talk about meet and greet.
Well, that's you.
No, I'm talking about the transitional meeting.
I thought you
with
said
the
that whole
superintendent.
same night.
No, I just have a transition.
Oh, and then the regular board meeting,
I think we'll have the transitional meeting before July 17th.
Yeah, I-
And it's about mutual goals and helping
July
her
1,
through the
yeah.
school and make sure,
Yeah,
yeah.
we want
My
to have
school
that
board's
also
before the school board July 2nd.
Yeah,
That's, I mean, I think that she should have that orientation.
Right.
Yes, I was okay with that. I said, well, yes, so.
We want to get after it, yeah.
Well, can we look at some dates now, and then you check with Patty, and
Well, Patty was going to give us some dates, but she's available.
I
She
asked
knows
her,
we want to do it sooner.
And she's involved, why?
because that's a service of
that's part of the
Okay,
service.
thank you.
Part of the cash.
facilitating that.
It's free game.
So,
You pay for it, so you use it, right, yeah, use
like,
it.
is there a day of the week that's better for everybody? Is Wednesday a good day for everybody? Is that not a good day for
Not for me.
everybody? Is,
Not the second Wednesday, because that's CISA.
Wednesdays are bad for now.
Do what you were going to do and give us your Patty's available.
I think we get her dates and
Yes.
Go from there.
go from there. And what's a good time for this? Like 6, like 5? Like, somebody works, so.
I'm pretty flexible my next month and my early, I can get out earlier, so it might be your vacation.
I'm a little, like, 5 is kind of,
Well, you can still work, right?
yeah, I'm travel for, don't work around me, but I'm kind of a 5 o'clock is early for me to get somewhere. Is that? is
Well,
that-
6, right now, just if we can make it 6 is best, yeah, say 6.
6 o'clock.
That's it.
Okay,
Gives me time to stop at home and.
as soon as I get some dates from Patty, I'll send them and we'll figure out best possible earliest date.
Okay.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
I make motions to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried at 8:14.